Hey everyone, welcome to This Week in Rewards for February 24th through to March 1st, 2024, right here on RWRDS Canada. This is your weekly dose of loyalty rewards, travel, and credit card happenings in our great nation. Hope you've all had a great week, and as always, before we kick things off, be sure to hit that like button if you like today's content, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever we do post new videos. As always, we'll kick things off with credit card news, and the first piece of credit card details we have this week is not actually news, but it's a new feature on how you can extract a lot of value from the current limited time welcome bonus offers on the Marriott Bonvoy American Express cards. We did cover these in a previous episode. I'll put a link to the video as well for the actual bonus offers. So what we do in this feature though is we provide examples of how you can extract value from those bonus points. And primarily we're looking at the initial hit of bonus points. So 65,000 points on the consumer card and 75,000 points on the business card. It's not even really taking into account the extra points that they're providing for your spending for having those cards in the first few months. So like the first example was a night at the JW Marriott Hotel in Madrid. The example I showed, it was 693 euros for one night, so about just over $1,000 Canadian for a one night stay, all in with all taxes, and they were offering it for 54,000 points. So as you can figure out, hopefully with your math, that with 65,000 point bonus or a 75,000 point bonus, you have enough points to cover that one night. So right there, just from that initial bonus, you have over $1,000 in value. There's very few cards that can provide this in terms of bonus value, and that's not even your spending bonus of 5 points per dollar over and above that. For those of you working with cents and points valuations, this redemption works out to 1.88 cents per point. We normally value Marriott Bonvoy points at 1 cent at a minimum, so this is almost double that. So that means your initial 65,000 points, if you were to redeem all 65,000 points at 1.88 cents, that's $1,222 of value on the consumer card or $1,410 on the business card. Like just simply amazing offers here. And some people may be saying, well, you can get the same thing from airline cards, and yeah, you can with business class and that, and you can probably even get more value. But the thing with Marriott is that there's so many hotels and so many options in that these tend to be easier to come by and to pull that value than it is with the airline card. So do keep that in mind as well. But if we take into account the entire bonuses, even with your 5 points per dollar limited time bonus on these cards, you're looking at $1,500 in value, just over $1,500 on the consumer card, and nearly $1,700 in value on the business card. So just like simply unbeatable in some ways for sure. We have the Marriott card. I wish when we got the Marriott card years ago that it was this big a bonus, but still, we use it every day, for our everyday spending, and love it. It's an amazing card, amazing program to work with. Another example we put in that feature was a 3-night stay closer to home. The Courtyard, well, not for me, but for many Canadians watching this, I'm in Calgary, but this is the Courtyard Toronto Vaughan in October. Here's a 3-night stay where it's $893 all in for 3 nights, and you can redeem 65,000 points for that offer. So that's a 1.37 cents. So not as good as the Marriott or the JW Marriott in Madrid, but still 1.37 cents is a great redemption value for Marriott. So that means that initial 65,000 points is worth $890, and the 75,000 points on the business card would be worth $1,027 if you're redeeming at that 1.37. So of course your numbers will vary. Maybe you'll do one night at the Madrid hotel, get 1.88, one night at Courtyard Vaughan, get 1.37, so your average is in the 1.5 somewhere. So it's going to vary by people, but as long as you're getting, I would say, at least over 1 cent per point. Even honestly, even a little bit below, you're still going to get really good value out of these welcome bonuses. Of course, we're all about trying to push the most value possible, but it's whatever makes you happy. If you get 0.8 cents per point, still amazing. Still a great deal, but better than most credit card welcome bonuses out there. So do keep that in mind for sure. And it's not just the welcome bonus points. It still comes in with the welcome bonus points, but the Marriott Bonvoy program, if you're unfamiliar with it, if you book 5 nights, you get one of those nights free when you book 5 nights on points. The one with the night with the lowest amount of points is given to you for free. So like here we have an example of 5 nights at the Town Place Suites in Fort McMurray this coming November for just over half the points in the welcome bonus on the consumer card, or just under half for the business card. You can get 5 nights and you're only paying 37,000 points. And the same value for that hotel is over just a touch over $1,100. So the card is providing you, if you take away the annual fees, it's providing you right there savings of $950 on that stay, or $980 depending on which card it is, if it's the business card or the consumer's card. And that's taking into account the annual fees. And since this benefit repeats itself every 5 nights, you're pretty close to being able to, you can double that with the business card. You'd be coming close with the consumer card. You have to get a little bit of spending on there. But so that's $2,200 in value on the business card's welcome bonus, and you'd still have 1,000 points left over. Like just amazing. Again, value of the credit card tied in with the features that the Marriott Bonvoy program provides in terms of 5 nights, getting 5 nights for the price of 4, basically. And then after the welcome bonus, I've always said the Marriott cards are keeper cards strictly for the free night award. So once you've finished your first year with the card, on your anniversary, you're going to get a free night award with your credit card, which you can use at hotels up to 35,000 points in value for one night. You can top it off with an additional 15,000 if you like. But here we have an example of the Dorian. It's an autograph collection hotel in Calgary, one of the newest luxury hotels in Calgary. Many nights I have found you can redeem below that 35,000 points. You don't even have to top it off. I mean, in this example, you can see that it's 33,000 points, and that same hotel night, that night with that hotel is $351. So after your first year, you're paying an annual fee of $120 or $150 for this card, but as you can see, you can redeem it for a hotel that's $350. So you're saving $200 to $230. You're coming out ahead with this card just for that free night award on it. So amazing deal, and amazing value from this card that really should be considered. I think it's well known in points and mile circles, the Marriott cards, not just in Canada but the US and other countries they provide it in, like Japan. It's well known because the Marriott Bonvoy program has so many hotels you can redeem at. It can provide the value. But outside of the points and mile circles, it's a relative unknown. I know I've seen studies. It's been a while since I've seen a study, but the older studies saying that only 13% of Canadians participated in hotel programs. I think a lot of Canadians are not aware of the value that comes from these programs. I've put articles out there before too, and it comes down to the ease of redemption. Hotels tend to be easier to redeem for than flights, and it also counts too, say for families. You only have to collect points for one hotel room, at least if your kids are small. I mean, my kids are adults now, so we have to get a couple hotel rooms. But if your kids are smaller and you're good with one room, you're only having to collect points for the one room. Whereas if you're collecting for an airline program, you're having to collect points for multiple people, whether it's 3 or 4. So that can really add up. So hotel programs can bring value quicker, faster, and easier than a lot of the airline programs. So definitely check that out. I think this could have been a whole video on its own. Maybe I'll have to do that. It's showing the value of the Marriott program and even other hotel programs. But Marriott, of course, for Canadians is the biggest because it's the only hotel program that has a credit card here in Canada. And that's the whole value in these that I'm showing you with this. It comes down to those welcome bonuses from the credit cards. So enough on that. That's already taken up probably half our video already. So continue on with credit card news. We have an important detail on HSBC Mastercards. The emergency travel medical coverage, we've learned from the FAQs that if you have travel with a departure date of March 29th, on or after March 29th, your emergency medical coverage from your HSBC card will not cover you. Now this kind of makes sense because this is a general coverage, right? You don't have to have your travel booked on the card. It's just a general coverage that doesn't matter how or who you booked your travel with, it will cover you. And since it's being transitioned to RBC, so as of March 29th, you'll be covered by the coverage on your RBC card. But I just want people to be aware of this, that thinking, I've booked travel while I was in possession of the HSBC card, but it's beyond that date. What coverage do I get? Because the HSBC card, of course, had amazing out-of-province emergency medical travel coverage of up to 31 days for those up to 64 years old, and then 21 days for 65 and over with no age limit. And now your RBC coverage, the Avion Visa Infinite card, if you're getting that, which is most people are getting that, or the Privilege, it's 15 days up to 64 years old, and then only 3 days of coverage for 65 and over. So a major difference if you have longer trips planned. I mean, if you're within those time limits, then nothing to worry about. You're covered by the Avion card, but just be aware that it only covers you for those first 15 days of your travel if you're up to 64 years old, and your first 3 days, 65. Now, if your travel is longer, I mean, if you're willing to take a risk, like say you're going 17 days, yeah, you'll be covered the first 15 days, and hopefully nothing bad happens on 16 and 17, so that you don't lose that coverage. But just be wary, you may have to top off your insurance by buying some extra coverage for that. Let's continue on with credit cards. Just a quick note, we touched upon this just a few weeks ago already. Last call for the TD First Class Visa Infinite card with its 135,000 bonus points and first year free offer. You have to be approved by March 4th. I'm recording this March 1st. So you pretty much need instant approval because, by their new wording saying you must be approved by March 4th, if you're going to go for manual approval, that takes sometimes up to 10 business days. I mean, March 4th is a Tuesday, so if you're applying, over the weekend, hard to say if you'll get manual approval before then. Now, I don't have any data points yet whether people are not being awarded this bonus by applying, say, like a day before it's over and then being approved a few days after. Because most credit cards, actually all other credit cards that I'm aware of, they base it on your application date and time, not your approval time. So, I may even have to reach out to TD and see what they state these new rules are. But I haven't seen any data points. But still, if you want to be safe, you want to apply for this card right away and hopefully get instant approval, because 135,000 points, first year free, it's a great initial bonus to jump on, and it's not being extended past this date. And then speaking of increased welcome bonuses, the Scotia cards, the no fee Scene cards. So this is the Scene Plus Visa card and the Scotia American Express card, the red one. Both had their bonuses increased to 7,500 points. That's worth $75 towards any travel or groceries with Scene Plus, grocery stores, those type of things. The Scene Plus Visa card, a great no-fee Visa card. It's been around forever. It's called the Scene Plus Visa now instead of the Scene Visa. We rank it as the 4th best overall travel rewards credit card in Canada that has no annual fee. Offers 2 points per dollar at Cineplex, Home Hardware, Scene Plus grocery stores, that's 2%, and then 1% or 1 point on all other purchases. In terms of the Scotia American Express card, we actually rank it as the 2nd best no annual fee travel credit card. And that's because it earns 3 points per dollar at Scene Plus grocery stores, 2 points on other grocery purchases, plus dining, entertainment, gas, transit, and even select streaming services, and then 1 point on everything else. And in fact, if you don't need conversion options that the American Express Green Card offers, like to Airline and British Airways and everything, this is actually a better no-fee travel card than the Scotiabank, this is better than the American Express Green Card, the Scotiabank American Express card. I'm probably confusing people here. So something to take into consideration. I mean, its bonus before this was 7,000 points, it's now 7,500, so it's a small boost to its bonus. The Scene Plus Visa before was only 5,000, so it gets a little bit of a bigger bonus, increase to the bonus. I mean, they're both 7,500 points. And that's it for credit cards this week. Let's jump into loyalty and travel news. So loyalty programs, one of my favorite non-travel programs is getting better. PetSmart Treat Rewards. It's going to have incoming changes coming April 2nd. They're simplifying the earn rates, they're adding elite tiers, and it's just going to make the program better. So by simplifying earn rates, it's going to earn 10 points per dollar spent. Right now it's 8 points per dollar spent, and the redemptions will be 1,000 points for $2, whereas 1,000 points in the current program is for $2.50. So no matter what, it remains at a minimum 2% return. It's the same math behind the two, but they've simplified it, so it makes it a lot easier to understand the program. So going, bucking the trend, going the different way. Not only are they improving the program, but they're making it simpler to understand, whereas other programs are trying to make it more complicated to understand. So PetSmart Treats, this happens April 2nd. Elite tiers. So once you spend enough, I didn't put the numbers in front of me, but I'll put the graphic here so you can see. Once you spend enough, you can become a Bestie member, or even higher. The top member is a VIPP. And both those, the main things is that are going to earn additional points. So Besties will earn an additional 2 points per dollar, and VIPPs will earn an additional 4 points per dollar. So that puts your return on spending before any credit card points or miles at PetSmart at 2.4 and 2.8% roughly. So big returns. It's one of the best programs out there in terms of retail. Of course, you have to have pets to take advantage of it, but many Canadians do have pets. Like I said, it's one of my favorites. The one thing I do have to check with PetSmart, is the existing value of points, because existing points, if 1,000 points is worth $2.50, but then as of April 2nd, 1,000 points is only worth $1, that would be a devaluation on any balances held as of April 2nd. So I'm assuming, like most programs that do this, they're going to give a little boost to any outstanding points, but I will double check with PetSmart and I will follow up and let you guys know if that's the case. If not, then there's going to be a devaluation before the program gets better. So hopefully that's not the case. So let's continue on with loyalty news. So next up we have Hyatt. Just will quickly touch upon, they put out their annual category changes for their hotels. So the actual points amounts for redemptions for categories has not changed, but what they do is move hotels up and down to different levels in the categories. In Canada, 3 of their 19 hotels are changing and they're all increasing in price. The Hyatt House Winnipeg South outlet is moving from category 1 to 2, which means it'll now cost 8,000 points instead of 5,000 for a free night. The Andor House in Toronto, I believe, is that in Toronto? Yeah, that's in Toronto. Moves from category 3 to 4, so they'll need 15,000 points instead of 12,000. And then the Hyatt Regency Toronto, very popular hotel, is also jumping to a category 4 from category 3, so it's going to be 15,000 instead of 12,000. These take place March 26th, so if you've had your eye on any of these hotels, you can book them at the lower rates up until March 26th and redeem those points. If you currently have bookings, I guess not for these 3 hotels because they're all moving up, but if you have currently bookings of some of their other hotels that are moving down, say, so which is, I believe, what do I have here? 46 hotels worldwide are actually going down in the category. They'll automatically refund you the points if you have a booking for after March 26th. So that's good to know. But any of the hotels that are moving up, which are 137 total worldwide, 3 in Canada, I said, you want to book those before March 26th so you can get in at the lower points rate. Continuing on, now a little bit of travel news. Air Canada and WestJet both raised their check bag fees this month. Air Canada just the other day, WestJet earlier this month. This trend started quite a while ago with Alaska Airlines raising their fees, but then this month American Airlines jumped on the bandwagon, followed by United and JetBlue and WestJet. WestJet bumped their first check bag fee in the middle of February by $5 to $35, and now Air Canada's follow suit as well. I mean, they were leaving money on the table by not doing so, and WestJet charging more. So Air Canada bumped it up by $5 as well for their first check bag fee on flights in North America and sun destinations. As always, if you carry the WestJet RBC World Elite Mastercard, you won't pay that fee for WestJet operated flights. With Air Canada, same thing. If you have an Aeroplan co-brand credit card, the higher up ones, just the entry levels don't offer, but anything from the Visa Infinite up provide your first check bag free. And that's on Air Canada flights, or if you're checking in with Air Canada for your first flight. So they're a little bit more flexible with Air Canada, but do recall we did put out a loyalty list. I'll put a link to it as well on when those free bags aren't free with these credit cards. There's more details there. I won't go into too much of it here. So, and to close out this episode, a redemption option. We're losing a redemption option for programs like Aeroplan, TD Rewards, and that's Higher Ed Points. If you're not familiar with Higher Ed Points, they've been around since 2013, and this was an option. A company that started, a very innovative company, launched with the option where you could redeem your points and miles for credits towards tuition at post-secondary institutions, and later on they even added student loan options. You could help pay off your student loan by redeeming your points. So it was, like I said, it was launched in 2013. We've had the pleasure of working with Higher Ed Points since they launched many times on RWRDS Canada. And they grew to have partnerships with Aeroplan, CIBC Aventura Rewards, TD Rewards, and even American Express membership rewards. The TD Rewards was a great option. The value there was the same as the Any Travel option, so not as good as, say, the Expedia for TD travel option, but the very flexible travel booking option, it was the same value for redeeming points for these for post-secondary tuition. So what happened is that I guess they were taken over in 2021. I was actually totally unaware that they were bought out by a company called Flywire. Now Flywire has actually shut down. I mean, the website says existing requests will be met, but they're taking no more requests for redeeming points for tuition or credits towards tuition, and they're not accepting new memberships. So Higher Ed Points has shut down after just over a 10-year run. It's really unfortunate because it was a unique way to use your points and miles. I think it was unique to Canada too. I don't think it was anywhere else worldwide. I believe Higher Ed did have some US locations that you could redeem points for. I don't recall 100%. Maybe if you know, you can leave a comment below. But maybe somebody else will jump on this bandwagon, because this is, this seemed like a good option. And from what they said, they had thousands of points redeemed for millions of dollars towards tuition. So obviously it was popular enough. And who knows, maybe just this company that bought it out just didn't have the same drive to make it as successful as the previous owner. So Higher Ed Points is no longer an option for Aeroplan members, TD Rewards, CIBC Aventura, and Amex membership rewards. And that's everything for this week in rewards on Rewards Canada. There's even more, as always. Be sure to check out our site on a daily basis if you can. Subscribe to our newsletter. I said we summarize everything in the newsletter each week, but sometimes you miss out on things because there are some flash offers, say from Air Miles, which is too late to be covered in our newsletter. So I recommend checking the website on a daily basis if you can, or even our social media, because we link all our articles and everything on social media, so that you can see when all these different bonus offers and news, travel events, you name it, happen. As always, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.